What's going on, everyone? This is Sherry, and you are tuned into She Said What She Said, the podcast where we interview badass women in the sports world and beyond. And I have a show that I'm super excited about because we get to talk about my favorite sport. But before we get our guest coming in, let's give a little hey to Miss Fi-Fi.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's happening?
How are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. Thank you for asking.
Looking like a dream per usual.
Thank you. You as well with those long red locks.
I know I'm going to get a little bit of a trim, but I think in like a week before I go to Mexico, but like I think I'm still going to just keep
You're
growing.
going to Mexico?
I'm going to Tulum.
Girl, yes. What are you going for?
My aunt and uncle bought a condo, so I have a free place to stay. So I'm going for a free place to stay in Tulum.
Okay, I feel like one of these days we will do a show live from Tulum and we'll both be in the same place at the same time.
I love it. Nice. I know, right? Yeah. We're thieves in the night right now, passing through in the city. You're like, I'm going to the bar. You're like, at 10 a.m. You're like, I'm going to bed. I'm like, okay.
Oh, sometimes that'd be on weekend, it's like I've been up. It's time for me to hit the hay.
Yeah. I love it.
I think that was the best text message thread between two people I've ever had. You're like, say no more. And I was like, okay, I need to go to sleep.
Yeah. And then you were like, want to come out later? I was like, no. St. Patty's Day, I'm going out from 10 to 2.
This is a daytime event.
This is a daytime event for me. I love it. So today, talk about my favorite sport. Now,
mine too.
I know, right? I'm saying mine. It's yours too. So,
yeah,
as you know, this is obviously, where I ran. This is my home. This is my love. But I have a second favorite team. I have another team that's close to my heart because, as you guys know, Coach Johnson, Chris Johnson, one of the Johnson brothers, first home. He is now back at Arkansas. Boogie, his brother, is there too. They both just won National Coach of the Year, National Assistant Coach of the Year, and just to see these Johnson brothers. So Gigi, his wife, how can I not love Gigi? And so, I follow Arkansas track and field. I've been following it since Coach Johnson went there. And so our guest this evening is one of the Arkansas record holders. So if you're a record holder at Arkansas, you got to be really fucking fast because those girls are no joke. I mean, the type of talent that comes through here. So, we got some records. I actually didn't even have a chance to count how many times she was All-American, but just know that it was like multiple, you know what I mean? Like multiple All-Americans.
I think, there was, we'll ask her to confirm, but I'll
confirm if she can remember. Because I remember when I asked Shayna Cox how many, and she was like, oh, I don't remember. I'm like, that's how you got to get to that point where you don't remember how many All-Americans you have. Yeah. But that's just a little bit of college. She is the indoor and outdoor national record holder for Saint Vincent and Grenadine. She was their flag bearer at the 2020 Olympics.
Amazing. Ugh.
Insane. But it gets even better. So last year, she officially became part of the sub 2-minute 800 meter crew. So that's a huge, for people to know 800. Once you go sub 2 minutes, you're no joke. Well, she ran one race this year indoors. One. And she was like, oh, you know what? Nah, I'm going to go sub 151. So we are now in the 158 crew indoors, currently still sitting at number 6 in the world, which has officially qualified her for the Olympics. So this woman is Paris bound. Patty, she is going to Patty. And without further ado, let's bring in Fi-Fi Maloney. Hey! The crowd goes wild.
I'm gonna do a little Paris dance. This is my Paris dance. I'm going to Paris.
Welcome. Okay, so since we just talked about Paris real quick, can you show us like it's hard to reenact emotion, but when you found that out, did you like already you were like, oh yeah, I already know. I already know. Or were you just like when you found out you were like, can you give us like the reenactment of the emotion that you had?
I don't know. I knew I fell to the ground. I'm legally blind, but I kind of knew I ran fast because of how the crowd went, but I didn't know how fast. And I was squinting trying to see the scoreboard. I couldn't see nothing up there. And then I didn't know how fast I ran until I spoke to like Coach Johnson in the back. I'm like, what's up? I knew it was something too. I didn't know what it was. It was, but I knew I ran fast. So I was just like,
congratulations. That's amazing. Good for you.
I watched the race, the repeats of it.
Yeah, I watched it.
You just like that third lap indoors. So we had 4 laps. That third lap, you just took off. It was like this another level. I could just hear Coach Johnson, just telling you to go for it. Don't fall asleep in that last part. And then you just went home. It was beautiful. It was perfect. I loved every second of it.
Yeah, usually that third lap is where I fall asleep in every race. It don't matter if I'm indoors or outdoors. And before that race, we really talked about running that third lap. And I heard him. For some reason, I could hear him when I'm running, even if there's a crowd going wild. And I heard him saying, "Don't settle it, don't settle." I was like, all right. And I just went, and I felt good, so I kept going.
Man, yeah, it's it's the same. It's similar, 400, right? Kind of falling asleep for that around the bend.
Similar.
Sometimes there's that little part of the race where it's like you have to mentally like commit to like go for it. To set it up. So like the 400 kind of around that second turn, it's like you're like, all right, this is gonna hurt, but you have to get it to get there. 1:58. At the time, it was the second fastest time in the world. And right now, you're still sitting at number 6 in the world, or as of what day did I write this? Monday. Tuesday. As of Tuesday, you're number 6 in the world. So I'm pretty sure no one has ran a race in the past 24 hours. Have you ever been top 10 in the world?
Like when the NCAA season start, like in January, nobody running yet. Yeah, I've been there, and then by the second week, I've been gone. But this is the first time I've like had a solid performance that has kept me up there. So we can
what changed? Hi Frank. What changed for you mentally, physically, for you to like enhance your performance? Like going from where you were, which was still super high level. But that's a big jump. So what do you say is like your reasons?
If you speak to my coach, he probably said it's always been there. I've just never executed how I should, and mentally I've never been in a good place to compete. But last year, after I finished my first year of OPT and working and training and stuff, and I ran 159, I sat down, I was just like, I ran 159 working like 60 hours a week. And I was just like, imagine what I could do if I didn't work. And it so happened that leading into fall practice last year, I couldn't work legally. And so I didn't have a contract. I couldn't work. And like, it was like do or die type of thing. Like, this is my last chance to make it because, I'm from a small country that can't afford to fund an athlete such as myself. And it was just like, it's either you make it this year or you quit track. And I love track. So like I was head first into everything, trying to just make it work. The only thing I had control over was practice, and when I went to practice, I gave everything I had. I worked because that's the only thing I had control over. And track is my happy place. Like I love to run, so that kind of just it was also kind of therapeutic for me as well. Mm-hmm. But that just my mental health, the biggest thing, and I should have mentioned this first because this is the biggest thing. It was officially giving my life to the Lord. Like once I did that and I just trusted who he is and who he say I am, I'm a child of God, just trusting in all of that. And then, everything else kind of became easier, the worries and all of that stuff. Cause he tells you in the Bible, not to worry. Today has its own problems. Don't worry about tomorrow. I'm rephrasing it. Don't nobody quote me. I'm just rephrasing it. I don't know the Bible. But just trusting in him and the plan that he had for me. And he didn't say that, when you give your life to him that, we won't be suffering anymore. And so in my suffering, I had to find peace and joy and just trust that whatever plan the Lord had for me, would he said he would never leave me nor forsake me. He has plans to prosper me. So I had to trust, like, the Lord got me. He got me. Might not look like it right now, but he got me. I think that was one of the biggest things that changed. And then what I mentioned first was the second, and just trusting in Coach Johnson and everything that he tells me. It's not that I didn't trust in him and I didn't believe in him, but at the same time, I guess it was kind of getting in my own way. I was in my own way. Like, he always knew what I was capable of. He gave me the work. I was like, he put in the work on his end, and for me mentally, I wasn't where I needed to be. Like, my mental and my physical wasn't in the same place, and I really worked on that this past year as well. So it was a combination of a lot of things. I can't just say it's one thing. And the community, I have a community around me that everyone believed in me and what I could do before I could, even do it. Talia was telling me, Talia, Coach Johnson was all telling me I could break 152 flat, actually. And I think the day before that race, she was like, not the day, the first time I ran the 800, she was like, if you don't run below 2 flat, I'm gonna choke you with some Skittles. So, like, I had people around me that believed in me, seen me work, and knew what I was capable of. And, I had to lean in that. Sometimes when you find it hard to just trust in or believe in what you can do, just listen to the people around you who've seen you work. And for me, that was Coach Johnson, his wife, and my teammates.
Gigi. I absolutely
Gigi,
adore
the college
Gigi.
kids, Rosie and them, but they was like, if you can run faster than 2 fast. So I had a community that really believed in me, and eventually I believed in myself because I know the work that I put in, and I've seen the work that I put in, and it was just trusting everyone around me and the Lord.
Absolutely. So you're from a small island. What was it like, in your transition getting to Arkansas? Like, I know you had another stop along the way, but walk us a little bit through, like, how you got to Arkansas, how you became a Razorback.
Well, growing up in my little community, track wasn't really a big thing. It was soccer and football. Not said Lord. It was football. I don't know why I'm calling it. I've been in America too long.
Because you're in America now.
It's called soccer and netball, and I really love netball. That's what I really played growing up. It's my first love, and I'm gonna tell everybody that's my first love because it is. And it wasn't until like my first year at high school, like, I really started taking track serious. I went to one meet when I was we call it primary school. Y'all probably call it like middle school or something like that. Yeah, it's probably middle school. And I went to one meet, and I don't know, I just found myself laughing at everybody on the track. Like, I couldn't take anything serious at that age. My dad was even mad at me. Like, I was running down the street and just stopped and I started laughing. I don't even remember what happened. But it was really high school that I really started taking. I still was playing that ball, of course. And track, I was like, let me dabble in this a little bit. And my first year, I got my butt tore up and down the track, left and right and center, all the way around the streets. And I did not like that feeling. That was my first time really losing for real. And I was just like, all right, I need to take this a little bit more serious. I fell in love with track that year too, despite all the, the whoopings on the track. I fell in love with the sport, and I was just like, but I didn't like that feeling of losing. And the next year, I trained. I really trained. And from there, it was really history in Saint Vincent. And then I moved to St. Kitts in 2013 for a more stable environment and to just focus on track and school. My coach, Mr. Olivier, he saw something in me I didn't see in myself at that time. And he felt a move to St. Kitts would, put me in an environment to propel me to where I needed to be. And so I graduated from there in 2016. And my coach was Lonzo Wilkinson. He had an athlete that was previously there that was at the Southern Illinois University Carbondale. And so he spoke to the coaches there, and they reached out. A couple other schools reached out, like Missouri State and stuff. But being someone that's like, had I turned 17 yet? No, I was 16. Was I 16? I don't remember how old I was, but coming from, the Caribbean and not knowing anyone, I wanted to go to a place where, I knew somebody and just
that makes sense.
Feel a little bit at home because I know this person. And so I went to SIUC my first year, just like my first year of high school. Got my little whoopings. whoopings build character. It builds character, and I welcome them every
Thank
year.
you.
Love
I
that.
don't mean I like it, but I think it's something that's needed in the sport to keep you motivated to train harder and stuff. I got my fair share of whoopings. This is my first year at SIU. You know, I made up my mind. Okay, second year, we're not going. You know, we're gonna put in this work. And then I accomplished everything I could accomplish there. I ran the 2, the 4, the 4x1, and 4x4. I won the 2, won the 4. We won the 4x1. We won the 4x4. I got like MVP of the meet and some of the accolade. And then it was just like, okay, on to the next, because I'm the type of person, I'm always looking for challenges.
Yep.
And you know, it was time for me to move on. And so that year, right after 2018, I started looking for schools to go to. I entered the transfer portal. I went to Auburn on a visit. I missed my visit to Ohio State, unfortunately. We're not gonna talk about it. And then my third visit was Arkansas, and I got there and I saw the track. I was like, "Ooh, I like this. I ain't never seen nothing like this before." Because I came from a smaller school. I was mesmerized. I spoke to Coach Johnson. I spoke to Miss Gigi. I love Miss Gigi. Miss Gigi was like down to earth and everything. I spoke to them, and I felt like they were really genuine with what they were saying. And Coach Johnson wasn't playing like, "You come here, you gonna work." That's what I like to hear. I like to hear I'm gonna work, because I love to work. And so he was like, "You gonna work." And he always has a vision for beyond college, which is what I was looking for. I bought into all of that. He wasn't lying. I worked. When I got there, I worked. And so, I mean, after my Arkansas visit, I knew where home was. I didn't even need to go anywhere else. After that, I was like, I'm done with visits. Like, I signed my papers like probably the next week. I was done. Like, I just knew Arkansas was my home. Like, I could feel it in the people that was there. Everybody was just so genuine. That's how I ended up at Arkansas. Yeah, and just like my first year high school, my first year at SIU, I got my fair share of whoopings at Arkansas too. My fair share of whoopings, and that's how I kind of ended up from 2-4 to 4-8. Yeah.
Coach Johnson loves to move people up in distance. He loves to see where your threshold. Because I was a quarter miler, and I moved up to the 600 indoors because the Big Ten runs the 600. So yeah, I moved up to that 6.
You only moved 200 meters. I ended up whole 400
he tried
meters.
me a
what
little
I was
bit.
Doing.
He did dabble me a little bit in the 800. We did some 4x8s indoors. So you probably know Dominique Blake.
Yeah, I know Dom.
Yeah. So she and I ran together. He had one like 4x8. It was like myself, Dominique, Shayna, and I think it was Brianne. So you're like a bunch of 400-meter runners. Like, what are we doing? I don't know how to run this race.
Very different.
Yeah, he stopped me at the 8 or the 6. Sorry, but yeah, it's
one thing I've learned about him. Sorry to cut you off. One thing I learned about him, he knows what he's doing, and I feel like he's one of those persons can see where somebody belongs in terms of events. Yeah. I don't think he's ever been wrong. He has never been wrong as long as I've known him. And I ain't gonna lie, moving up from 40, I was a little like, sir, that's an extra lap outdoors, and that's 2 extra laps indoors. Like, I was a little skeptical, but he was the man with the plan. He knew what he was doing, and eventually, it didn't take me too long because I wasn't going back down. I was in a situation where that was the best bet for me to score points for the team and all that stuff. And so, I trusted in him, and I focused on what the team needed versus what I needed. And eventually, clearly it's all paying off now. But Coach Johnson knows what he's doing. If it's one person I know will put you in an event where you belong, is him, and he's never wrong. He's never wrong about that.
No, same thing for the 600. It was like, well, Shayna and Dominique are in the 4. Best place for me to score points, the 6. Oh, fun. Thank you. Yeah, no. So last year, I think Milrose game, watching Shamir Little run that 600 where she went out. And I'm like, oh, that is such a Coach Johnson athlete, because he used to make me go out like that and then just try to hold on while the 800 runner is the worst. But like, if you go out too slow, you're toast, man. Yeah. So watching her, I'm like, I can hear him. I'm like, that is exactly how I used to have to run this goddamn event.
But he knows. So do you find it? So it's interesting hearing your trust in Coach Johnson, right? Which I've heard many great things about him. It's amazing. So going into this and having to transition, changing events, it's a big event change, and your ability to say, hey, this is for the team, not just for me, and I really don't want to do this, but if that's what he says and that's what's going to be best, how do you that says a lot about you, being able to trust and to let go, which is not really easy for anyone in general. It's not very easy. So why do you think like that was kind of like that process? Was it easy? Was it really hard? Did you have resistance to it? If not resistance, then like what kind of like makes you special like that?
Well, initially I was injured that year and I was doing pool workouts, and when I got out of the pools, it was
Stop
600.
it! That's the same thing that happened to me.
And so there wasn't much speed work going on, and so when I got on the track, the 400, I was struggling, boy. I was struggling around like 50. I was struggling around 54 and stuff. Probably was 55. I was struggling. He was like, "Okay, we have all these 400 runners. We're gonna try the 8." And this was the last meet before SECs, and we tried the 800. And then I was in a good position. I mean, I was probably 15th going into SECs.
Mhm.
But he, like I said, he knew what he was doing. I got in there and I scored a couple of points. So the transition, it was rough because I went from doing 400 workouts to 800 workouts. That's a whole different ball game, right? I remember my first 1,000 workout. Ooh, I was laid out on the track. I was laid out on the track. I had to start doing mileage. My reps were longer and all that stuff, short rests, all that stuff. I don't think I officially bought into, like, I was doing the work. I always did the work, but mentally, I don't think I bought into the 800 until probably fall of 2022. That's when I started in 2020. I didn't buy in until 2022. Mentally, I didn't. It was just like, man, I can't believe I'm doing this type stuff. But I trusted Coach Johnson, but at the same time, I trusted him, but I don't think I trusted him as much as I should, because I probably would have been running. It just, I don't know what it was. I mean, I listened to him and he told me to do one thing, and for some reason I go out. I trusted him when he's talking to me, and then when I go out on the track, stuff happened, and I just start trusting in my own self type stuff.
Yeah,
that's how that ended up.
That's fair.
So
right.
And so
Well, we're young and we know everything, so that happens. You know everything when you go out there. You know your body. You know everything.
Well, he'd be like, "What do I know?" That's how he'd be. Well, what do I know? But but especially this past year, I've kind of had to get out my way and just listen to Coach Johnson. You could kind of see my back was against the wall type stuff, because it was either give everything you got and see what happens, or continue to struggle and try to do this sport. But he was there through it all. He never gave up on me. He always, and I've had times I'm like, "Coach, I don't know if I could do this anymore." He'd be like, when things get rough, you can't just run away. You got to push through. And so he never let me give up. And I promise you, I've had many times I'm like, "Coach, I don't know about this no more. I'm struggling. It don't look like no help coming and stuff." But he always made sure that I focused on practice. And when I get to the track, I did what I needed to do there, and everything else would take care of itself, honestly. Okay. Yeah.
You ever hear him say, "Your tears don't affect me"?
Oh, why are you crying? Them tears don't move me.
That's what your tears don't move me.
I wish they would, Coach. I wish they would move me, because I've tried some tears. I remember one workout I had. It was like when I was working and stuff, and I think I had worked a 15-hour shift on a Sunday night. And Mondays we usually have hard workouts. And I think it was after the first rep or the second, I was like, "Coach, I can't do it." I started crying and stuff. He looked at me. He was like, "Get back on the line." I was like, I started crying more because, sir, I'm here crying to you. And you tell me to get back on. I went back on the line with my tears. And I finished the workout. So it's just like, at the end of the day, he knows what I'm capable of. And it was just like, but that day I was just like, man, I just cried to this man. And he just hit me on the line. The tears started flowing some more because, sir, I know you seen these tears. And he like, them tears don't move.
They're real. They're not crocodile, I swear.
I love about him because if every time somebody cries when things get hard and he let them give up, then we won't ever get where we need to get to.
No.
I never told
so true.
Thanks for not letting these tears move you. Sometimes
Oh my God. Oh my
That's
God.
Such a great statement, though.
Yes, Fifi, she 2020 Olympics, but she's already qualified for Paris, so she is a Paris Olympian. Yeah. Paris, do the Paris dance, girl. Do the Paris.
We're going to Paris.
So, another quick, Coach Johnson question, because I could rat on him all day. Does he still do the thing where when you have a hard workout, he ignores you during the workout or the warm up, and then when you get to the line, he just tells you a distance and a time and won't tell you anything else? Does he still do that?
He does. We don't know the workout until we get done with our accelerations, and he'd be like, if we were racing fast, that's why he'd be like, go put them on, and then we come back. He have us in the little group, and then he start giving out workouts. So you don't have too much time to think about what you about to do, which I like, because if you tell me the night before I have a mile and a K and 5, 6 or whatever K, I ain't gonna sleep.
Fair.
So I like when he sometimes he tells us the whole workout of, especially with the 800 group, because we have a lot more reps. He give us one rep at a time, and the time he was like, okay, you got 800 now. This is the time, and then when we get done, he give us the next rep and stuff. So yes, he still
I have some trauma around that. I had one hard. I was by myself. I had to start working out before everyone else ignored me for the whole warm up. I'm like, I get to the line, and I no idea what we're doing, and he was like, 800 meters, sub 220, go, bye. I'm like, I'm
not. You probably think he ignoring you during the warm-up, but he be looking. He don't be ignoring you during that warm-up. He be looking. He
does. He be
like he ignoring, but he be looking.
But here's the thing, though. It's because when Dominique and Shane and everyone came later, they asked me they saw what I was doing. They were a lot more petrified. But yeah, we had other shit like Dominique and I get to the line 1,000 meters under 3 minutes. I'm like,
Oh, that sounds like hell.
Yeah.
Fuck, no.
But this is what he does. You get right to
the
goddamn line. You don't know how many reps you're doing. You don't know how much rest you're getting. All you know is he just tells you this, and you're like, Oh, yeah. She is definitely going to break some more records. Let's go. So moving back, though, I have to ask you because Phaedra and I, we are in Chicago, Illinois. You are from the Caribbean. You went to Southern Illinois. Tell us what it was like to go from the Caribbean to Illinois and how that first winter worked out.
Please do. Yeah.
And I came in January, so you already know January in Illinois. No. I stepped out of the airport and went right back in. I went right back in the airport because I think when I came out of the airport, there was a parking lot. And the parking lot was cold. I turned around and went back through the doors. The coach went and got me.
Yeah, you came into O'Hare, and that was not fun.
No, did I come into
Southern Illinois? She can go through.
You went to a smaller one. Yeah. But still bad.
I don't even remember what the airport. It don't matter where I came in. It was cold. It was terrible. I came in 2017. It's about 8 years later, and I still haven't adjusted to the cold. I have not. I've
lived here my whole life.
My team is sick and tired of me. My team is sick and tired of me because I'm always cold.
Yeah. I you know what? I totally get it. I've lived here since I was born. Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm in Antarctica, the North Pole.
You're what?
That's where I'm at. I say, as far as I'm concerned, I'm in the North Pole in Antarctica. Can nobody tell me nothing differently? Because how are you going to tell me how I feel about where I'm at? This is what it feels like to me. You.
And how was it culture shock wise? Again, going from the Caribbean going
To
to
Southern
Southern
Illinois.
Illinois, that's probably a lot of white people. And rural Southern cornfields, corn-fed folks.
Not even a
How
joke.
Actually, the athletic department had a lot of black athletes.
that is very
So
true. They
That's
do
it
have
was,
some really
and
good
there was some
programs.
Caribbean athletes here, so it wasn't too bad for me
Oh,
in terms of just especially from a language standpoint. Like I was still able to just be myself and stuff because there was people here I could talk to. The food was. Ooh, I'm not gonna lie, I gained a few pounds. I was too excited. Cinnamon Toast Crunch every day. They had cake in the cafeteria every day. I ain't never had access to all this before. I had me a grand time.
that was your thing with Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal.
A grand time. You
Okay.
tell me I can have as much. I used to eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch and ice cream. What were you telling?
Ooh, yes.
I came up with
Yes.
Wow.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch on it. Yes.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
like
It's like churros and ice cream.
Exactly.
It tastes good.
No.
I
Okay.
came up here and hit all it, but after a while, the body was like, "What are you doing? We're not used to this." And I had to back off a little bit. But the food was, and now fast foods is just some of it is just a lot for me. Right, I'd rather have me a home cooked meal. That's something I'd be
for
sick
sure.
of fast food for sure. The weather for sure was probably the biggest culture shock. So in the Caribbean, your first day not your first day of school, but every day you're in school, when the teachers walk into class, you stand up and say good morning and wait for them to tell you sit down. When my first day of school, professor walk into class and I stand up. I realized I'm the only person stand up, so I'm looking around like, y'all not gonna stand up and tell this man good morning. I was like, oh, and then I got the memo. And I sat right back down quietly.
That's funny.
I sat right back down.
You're like, girl, no.
I was like,
That's funny.
okay, I see where it's at. It was also different in terms of training and stuff. Because in the Caribbean I trained after school, like when school was over and stuff, but in the US it was like weights in the morning, class, maybe practice, and you got to go back to class or practice in the morning and then wait. It was just a lot of different stuff, but I had people to help me through the transition and stuff. So it wasn't all too bad. Now them 6 a.m. getting up in the cold going to weights. Yeah, many times I almost rolled back under them covers, but I remembered why I was doing this and the love I had for the sport. I had the love because that's the only thing that got me out of bed when it was cold. Because I've had some thoughts. I don't want to move today. When it's cold outside, I don't want to go outside. I just want to stay inside and bundle up. But in Arkansas, we had an indoor track. So it didn't matter how cold it got. We had to go out. It'd be below freezing because y'all still gonna have practice at the track. We indoors. I couldn't get away from that here.
So I have a quick. I have like shifting ideas because we're talking about your college career, and so we talk about goals. Obviously, you came here to Illinois. You had this opportunity. You're in a whole new era. You're making friends. I'd like to talk about social things. Like obviously you didn't know a whole lot of people here. However, there's still parties and the whole like social structure of things. So you have this idea in your head, like you just said, I know why I'm here. It seems to me that kids and parents alike, because parents are accepting the fact that their kids are going to college for the college experience, but they're getting here on scholarships where they're getting everything paid for, yet still deciding it's okay to go out, have a good time during their season. So can you kind of share like how you felt about, like the social structure or like the social scene when you're in season going out and like how that would affect you, or did you make some mistakes and do it? Were you part of it? Maybe a little bit about that.
One thing I had to realize was that I didn't have the privilege of stopping school and starting back like most American athletes. I had to realize I'm on a scholarship. There's a time limit on this thing, and I only have so much time to get this done. So I did not play around with that. I went out once in a blue moon. I didn't really go out because one, they weren't playing Caribbean music, so it was like I wasn't into the rap and that stuff. So I think one time I tried, and it was just like this is not for me. is not really for me. But if I went out, it would be like after conference, or if
Yeah.
I made it to nationals or whatever. That's when I would really go out, honestly. But going out, I've always been focused on my goals and stuff, and so partying and all that stuff, it just never. Like, I wasn't the type that needed to be out every day or every weekend and that type of stuff. Like, I knew why I was here, and ain't nothing
Yeah.
was gonna get in that way. Nothing. Nothing was gonna get in that way. I would like to think I was pretty focused. I was pretty
Good.
focused.
I think
Nice.
that's huge. Yeah.
That's shit. That's more than half of it, right? Just showing up. So switching gears too. So 2020, Tokyo, COVID, pause of that. 2021, Tokyo. Talk us a little bit about your first Olympic experience, because I mean, you didn't switch to the 800 until right around that time. So did having that extra year help get you ready for Tokyo?
No. In 2020, I wasn't really. In 2020, I wasn't really training for the 800. Like, I was still training for the 400 and a few 600 workouts and stuff. So like, my first full year of training for the 800 was the year I went to Tokyo, and let me tell you, it was a different ball game. And I raced a lot to like try and figure out like what race plan kind of worked for me and stuff. I don't think I ever really figured out the 800 until last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I figured it out. So like, the past couple years, I've been trying to figure.
Coming back.
Come back. I know. I want to know.
I know.
I love it how she's like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing in the 800.
That is, but you know what? So the 400 is my favorite race to watch ever, because you just see that transition. You see it there like a car, like a horse changing, their everything. And then the 800 is like, you're like, yes, everything can change in a second, because it's 2 laps, which is just mind-boggling. I can barely get around 1 lap, but that like then to go around a second time, it's like, and anything can happen in that race.
The bell. Yeah. The
bell.
I
know.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gonna come back. She'll be back.
They always
They'll be
come
back. They always come back.
They always come back for us.
Oh, but that's so fun. Yeah, and granted, I only ran track in high school. However, being in the track world with my ex being a head coach, like I hear the stories. I've gone to the meets. I still go to the meets, and it's like, it's just so incredible to watch. I just sit there and I'm just like, and then, to meet the track parents and to see the kids and like see what they're doing and see the coaches and how they. We're back. Okay.
I know what happened. Y'all.
That's okay. That's okay. You're back. So
You're
you were
back.
talking.
Okay.
You were talking about, you weren't even ready for that. And
no.
Tokyo.
I mean, Coach Johnson knew I was ready. I didn't. Like I said, I was leaning on my own understanding, which never worked out for me. But he knew I was ready, because that year I had a breakthrough. I went from starting at 211 the year before to 201. He knew I was ready, but me personally, I was in my own way. Like I said, I was in my own way, just in my own way. I probably was ready, but mentally, I was like, dang, I just got here.
You won the under 23 like North American Caribbean championships as well that year. # no big deal. So
really?
no big deal. I love it. We do have a question though, and I know the answer to this, but I'll let you answer. Do your school coaches travel with you to the Olympic Games? So talk about what it is like for Tokyo. What was your support going on for there?
Well, Coach Johnson didn't get to go with me because at the time I didn't know, because Tokyo I didn't qualify. I went based on a bye. Like, if country doesn't have anyone that qualified, then they get to send somebody. So all that was last minute, and it was too late to But it's already known he going with me to Paris. We already taking the care of that. But yeah, your coaches could travel with you. For me, as an athlete from a smaller country, like how I qualified, I could be like, hey, I need my coach to go with me as a coach and stuff. And so that's one way. And there are many other avenues that college coaches could go. They could pay their own way or whatever the case is, or they have athletes from other countries. They could have the country send them as the coach and stuff like that. So yeah, they can go.
Mm-hmm.
And your family, do you go back and travel and see your family, or like the support from them, not seeing them because you're here? What is that like?
Fun fact, I'm home right now.
Oh, you are home right now.
I'm in Saint Vincent right now.
Hey.
I haven't seen my mom in 8 years. Whenever she works on a cruise ship, so whenever I'm here, she's there. Whenever she's here, I'm not here.
No.
But I came down to like renew my passport and all that stuff. And so, but I got to see both my little sisters. My 2-year-old sister, she wouldn't talk to me because she don't know me like that.
Oh.
Today was the first time she seen me, and I was calling her all day, and she just looking at me sideways, pretending that I don't exist. I even tried to bob her with some money to buy ice cream. That didn't even work.
Did you do cinnamon toast crunch with it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you put the cinnamon toast crunch?
Look, she loves ice cream. If she didn't budge for ice cream, she wasn't budging for anything else. And then my other sister competed at the inter-primary school sports today as well. So, and she stays like not too far from me. So I've been able to spend some time with her. I see my grandma today for the first time since I've been here, and my aunt and cousin. And I've just been seeing people as I go along. Honestly, it's been fun, and I'm kind of a celebrity now. It's getting some used to, every time I blink, somebody want a picture and stuff. I love taking pictures with people, especially the kids. Like I'm all here for the kids and stuff. So that's been, it's been trying to get used to that stuff, because I was a nobody a couple of years ago. Even as y'all know,
you were somebody, just not the somebody you are right now.
I mean, you're now internationally known.
Yeah.
Boom.
So
and that's
just,
going. I'm sure everyone on the island knows that you've officially qualified for Paris.
It's crazy when even the little kids know you. Like the little kids, I just like, they know me. They know me.
So
even know my name or what I look like.
And
I was young, I didn't know nobody.
I bet you they all know your time too. Was it 1:58.69? Holler.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So incredible.
How does that? I mean, because it's like you're there right now, but you say you haven't seen your mom in 8 years, right? Your family is there. You're chasing your dreams in Arkansas, and I know you said earlier, it's kind of putting your faith in God and trusting the process and doing it for the love of the sport. But do you get homesick? Are there times where you're just like, what is this for?
I've had a few times where I wish I'd seen my mom or just been home. But for the most part, I've been out of Saint Vincent for a while now. Like I left to go to St. Kitts 2013 when I was 12. So I've gotten used to being with our family. And then after that, I came back for a couple of months, and then I went to university in 2017. And then I didn't go home until 2019, and then now I'm back home again. So I've been, and a lot of people would ask, like, you don't miss your mom, you don't miss family. I don't know. I've gotten to the point where most times I don't know why. I probably just used to not being around them and stuff. But there are a few moments where I'm like, dang, I wish I was home right now type stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Christmas really is hard for me. Christmas is one of those times I wish I'm really home, because everybody gets to go home with their family, and I gotta stay in the apartment by myself. But this past year, my best friend invited me home with her for Christmas.
Aww.
Yeah. And usually, if Coach Johnson's in town, we can, and Thanksgiving. So there are people in Arkansas that loves me and invites me home and stuff. But at the same time, it's not the same as being with family on Christmas.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
this past year, I felt loved. Thanksgiving and Christmas, that was really special for me this year.
Oh, that's great.
I'd say if you're lonely this year at Christmas, you can come to my family, but they live in Michigan, so that
you on your own? No, I stay in my apartment in the dark alone. I already know it's cold. I appreciate the offer. I love you. I appreciate the offer, but I'll stay in my apartment.
You're gonna pull back and you know,
I'm gonna just
reverse
I'm
it,
good.
hang it back. So talk about
Netflix and chill.
I know, right? So this year, right? We know we have Paris coming. That is the end of July, right? Beginning of August. Those weeks. What are you doing? You know, what's the plan between now and then for preparation? Are you planning on racing a lot? Are you planning on not racing a ton? You know, kind of what is, because you don't have to go through like U.S. trials or Jamaica trials.
I got one question for you, Sherry. I got one question for you, Sherry.
Uh-oh.
Do you really know Coach Johnson? Do you really know Coach Johnson?
Yes. I don't. You know what? You know what?
Why did you ask that question? Why did you ask that question? I have no answer for that question.
Because
I just run.
He'll tell you.
He tell me when it's time. In terms of what the year is going, I do not know. I do not know if I'm going to be racing a lot. You need to ask him that question.
Okay.
We need to have him on.
Don't worry. It will probably after track season, but yeah, Coach Johnson and Boogie.
If he say I'm running this weekend and I'm in this, I'll be like, okay, Coach. And you know, he has other responsibilities, you know, college kids and all that stuff. So, but it's Coach Johnson. Whatever he tells me to do, I do. But I do not know what the rest of the year looks like.
Yeah, I mean, he might. Sometimes.
Yeah, things happen. He might. Well, Fifi need a 1500 this weekend. You know, we go in here, or she need a 400, we go in here. So like, it's hard to kind of like, you know. But I trust whatever he tells me to do, and I'm just, because at the end of the day, he's the one that's, you know, running my training programs or whatever the case is, and so he has a plan of what he thinks I need and don't need, and where I need to go and don't go. So I trust him in that sense. In terms of, a lot of people ask me that, what are your plans? I'll be looking like, you asking the wrong person.
I mean,
I do not belong to myself.
I know. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Look, I mean, I get it. You know, it's different when you're in college. At least you have a meet schedule.
Yeah. Oh, so you already know. You ain't got no choice. You going.
You're probably going. You might not know what event you're running, or occasionally you'll take. But yeah, you at least this is true. So yeah, it's kind of is like. So you guys really don't know.
Yeah, and it's hard to kind of like not prepare, but like make decisions at the level. Like I might go run a 1500. Not that I'm planning to have a bad race, Coach, but like I might go have a bad race, and he'd be like, "Okay, we need to do this again." And he might have had a meet set up for, okay, if I ran what he wanted, then I could go to this meet and do something else. But if I don't do what he told me to do, then I have to find a meet so I can redo what he told me to do type of stuff. So, yeah, it's just based on how the season go and what he thinks I need, honestly. Mm-hmm. So we can't really put a plan on that because things happen and we don't know where we're going to need to be and what we're going to need to do.
This is true. So are you on record saying you want to run a 1500?
I was just using it as an example. He already told me.
Sherry, shut up.
After that mile indoor, he already told me that there will be some 1500s. The mile, it was a lot of resistance for that mile. A lot of resistance because I just got used to the 8, sir. What you mean? I gotta run a mile.
Like, but, girl, you're like, I'm a 400 runner.
I be trying to tell him, but I be trying to tell him, but you know, there was a lot of resistance for the mile, and then he was like, "You can do it." I was just like, that was one of them days where he told me what I was capable of, and I believed him because it was one of them things that I couldn't even trust in myself because myself didn't know. I didn't know what to do. That was one of the races where, and I went out there and I ran good. Like I ran 4:33. It was my first mile. I ran 4:33. Yeah, but I feel like it was
that's moving
4 laps. Oh.
4 laps, ma'am. It was 8 laps indoor.
Yeah,
this is indoor.
Oh, it was like counting.
Oh, ew. No.
Lose count. You're like, is someone counting for me? Because
I got to lap 5 and I was just
I feel like I had 6, but wasn't that 4th bell, the 8th bell? I don't remember.
Right. This isn't it. This isn't.
I just run till I hear the last bell. If I don't hear a bell, then okay.
Yeah.
But I just ran.
God.
now he has been talking about having me run some 15. So when he told me, I was just like, okay, it's not even at this point. I'm at a point where I'm willing to do anything that's going to help my 800. If you tell me
Absolutely.
run 1500, I don't know about the 3K coach. I'm getting no ideas, but
He's gonna listen. He's like, check. He's already writing up your training
I
schedule
know,
right
he's
now.
like,
Is
oh,
what
But
he's saying.
if you tell me to run the 1500, I'm going when he.
She's like, I need to stop talking right now.
He has me scheduled for the 1500 in Texas relays for sure.
there
Okay.
it
And
is.
so usually he's used to me, a little bit. Most of the times I just be doing it just to give him a hard time. Cause I'm gonna do it anyways. Like I already know I'm gonna do it, but I need to change that because that's how he be. But like, and when he told me about the 1500, he was looking. I was just like, I ain't even finna argue with you, coach. Cause I think he kind of looked at me to hear what I was gonna say, and I said, coach, okay. I said okay and went on about my business. Is that point he tell me to do whatever and I do it, and no resistance from me, honestly.
Love it. Texas Relays, that's usually what, the first or second weekend of April?
It's next week.
Oh shit.
Oh wow, it's kind of early, right? Oh, because of Easter.
It is one of the Easter. Everything's weird this year. Oh shit. I love it. So do you know what your country's national record is in the 1500?
Ma'am. I was just gonna go out there and run. I was
just do it. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna look it up. I'm just gonna go out there and run.
Good.
I'm not gonna focus on that. That's not my priority.
I know it's not, but I'm just curious because you already have national records in 800
and the mile.
And the see, she said it too. I got her. She has it in the mile. So
I'm just go out there and run. If I get a national record, I get one. But the focus for me is to go out there and do what Coach Johnson wants me to do, listen to the race plan he has for me. And once I go out there and execute that, if it's a national record, it is. If not, I feel like I would have many more opportunities to run a 1500.
So I'm going to look it up myself. I'm not going to tell it to you though, but I am going to look it up myself. So I will immediately know once I look at the results, because I'm a trackhead. I'll be looking at those results. Now that I know you're doing them, I'll be like,
you can go on and you can look at it. It doesn't matter to me, but
I know it doesn't matter for you, but I just like to have something to put in my head as like
you just gonna be watching the race like, oh, she gonna get it. She gonna get it. She gonna get it. She gonna get it. She got it.
We'll be yelling. We'll be like, no, go. We're almost there.
And part of it too is like you're seeing it, right? You're at home. The kids know who you are. Like you're turning into this celebrity. You don't just have me watching you. You got a whole country watching you now. Like that's.
So do you feel a lot of pressure?
No pressure whatsoever. No pressure whatsoever.
We put pressure on you. Just kidding.
But now, I don't feel pressure. I just focus on what I have to do. Honestly, Coach Johnson tell me to go out and do something like that day when I step on the line. That's what I'm focusing on. Like all that other stuff. Not that it doesn't matter, but I try not to let it affect me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's something that's gonna become a norm, and if I'm gonna let it affect me every time, then I might as well hang up them spikes somewhere.
Totally. Do you have any rituals to kind of like, I don't know, meditation, thought process, music you listen to, music you don't listen to? Have you gotten into any practices pre-race that kind of bring you just to like a equilibrium?
I do. I spend time with the Lord.
Good.
That's all I do. I spend time with the Lord. And I have to have my oatmeal before every race. But for the most part, I spend time with the Lord. I read my Bible, I pray, and I listen to gospel music. I be jamming. I be jamming to how good the Lord is. I be out there jamming. But yeah, for the most part, I spend time with the Lord, and I have to have my oatmeal before every race. Yeah.
Perfect.
So no Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I've had to let them Cinnamon Toast Crunch go years ago. I don't eat like that anymore. Do you know who my coach is? Why are you acting like you don't know who my coach is?
I have met the man. I have made his acquaintance.
You
before.
acting like you haven't.
I know, but I still want to just, I don't know. It was, maybe
you
he's
trying to put me in problems, Coach. I have not been eating no Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Well, trying to put me in problems.
Sherry said.
No, I haven't been. I said when I first got to college, that was like dinosaur years ago. I don't eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch anymore. I don't know the last time I had some Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I be passing them in the supermarket. It don't even faze me no more. Like a lot of things.
Since last week.
But no, I would say too, like, there's something about, as an athlete, learning your body, learning what goes in your body is fuel for it, making it better. So if something really is kind of not going to make you perform better, there is kind of like that choice of like,
it's not even that, because I remember like when I'm training and stuff, even though I know it's not gonna help, I still used to go pick me up a bag of Cheetos.
I believe it.
I'm so young. Every athlete do it like they know. I know this ain't good for me, but I need this right now. But I've gotten to the point where, because I used to go to Walmart and can't pass a bag of Doritos or some Cheetos somewhere, or them what's them thing called, them
Fritos, the corn chips, the
popcorn puffs. I love me some popcorn puffs. And now, like, I'm going to Walmart and I just see that it's just like, and I just pass them straight top stuff.
I had the biggest sweet tooth, and Gigi will tell you, I used to make rum cakes back in college.
Oh, you are the dessert queen. That's right.
I know. I have such a sweet tooth, but yeah, I would make some rum cake, make some nice rum sauce. The rum wasn't all the way cooked, so you could taste the rum. Like,
you just trying to get drunk. Don't even talk about no cake. You just trying to get drunk. Yeah.
Yes. In my defense, I'm German, and Germans put a lot of liquor in their dessert.
They do.
And so that's the way my mama taught me.
You was having liquor with a side of dessert. You ain't fooling nobody.
Extra sauce on the side.
No, so I'll tell y'all what though. The first time I ever did a shot of liquor, when I was making a rum cake, probably in middle school, but I was cooking with Bacardi Gold, and I'm like,
in middle school, ma'am,
I'm German, and so I took a shot of this, and I was like, oh my god, it was done. Because that's the way it was. Like, you want to try that? Okay, try that. See how that tastes for you.
Oh, I liked it so much.
Not Bacardi Gold. Bacardi Gold. No.
I had okay.
No, you do not do shots of Bacardi Gold. So I was probably like 12 years old, and so I learned the liquor goes in the alcohol or in the dessert, not directly in my mouth.
At least
the story.
At least you saved your liver some problems. You saved your liver some problems. You ain't had to work that hard.
Man,
I had a weakness for chocolate though. Chocolate was kind of it had 1 year in college, like all you see is chocolate, like before practice, because mid-prayer I be eating chocolate. Coach Johnson had put me on a chocolate ban. He's like, you ain't eating no chocolate until Halloween. I was like, okay, I can wait for Halloween to come. When Halloween came, and for some reason that year, he was there when I had all my chocolate for Halloween, and I started down and everything. He's like, don't eat all in one night. Sorry, you said Halloween. It's Halloween. I mean, all the chocolate I get. But now
you didn't put time on that.
I don't even eat chocolate like that no more. I've just gotten to the point where a lot of things just, I don't want to say they don't matter, but I guess it's just focusing on what I have going on, and just my body probably just sick and tired of them too, because I've had my fair share of sweets and chips and all that good stuff. Maybe I'm growing up. Yeah, I'm growing up.
You're maturing.
Yeah. I still don't eat my vegetables though.
Nah.
I'm working on it though. I'm working on the veggies. I ain't eating no tomatoes, so that's out of the question. No tomatoes.
That's okay.
But I've been working on the broccolis and the lettuce and the cauliflower. It's been a struggle. It shouldn't be a struggle, but it's a struggle for me. I used to tell Johnson I was allergic and I can't eat them. He didn't buy into that though.
Which one? All of them. I'm allergic to every single one.
Vegetables.
You know, when I eat them, I just don't feel good. Like my stomach gets to doing this twisting and turning types.
But that's actually that is not like an actual like lie, because it does happen because of all the fiber.
I do.
in them.
I don't be feeling good when I eat vegetables. I wasn't
So-
lying. I just
Well, especially the cruciferous ones. So like try green peas, try asparagus. You can still get the vitamins, spinach. That stuff will be a little bit easier on digestion because your body may not digest broccoli and cauliflower because of like it's got this enzyme in it that really messes with your stomach.
So what you saying? You eat
maybe
no black broccoli or cauliflower?
I don't eat cauliflower at all, and broccoli is like I eat frozen broccoli, but I like I'll cook it. Yeah, it's delicious, but it may not be so like I eat green peas all the time now, and I eat asparagus sometimes, and then a lot of like spinach and dark green, but like cooked, not raw, ever.
I put my spinach in like smoothies. That's one way I can get my spinach in smoothies.
Yeah.
It's easier to go down that way. I tried carrots one time, but it was overpowering and everything. I couldn't do it. I had to throw it out.
I love carrots, and carrots are so
not in a smoothie though.
Yeah.
So you are you had mentioned this, and I totally went over this. So you're blind in the sense of how much can you see on the track? Talk about that.
Because
we kind of just went over. You're like, and I'm blind. I couldn't see it. I'm legally blind, and I was like, we didn't.
I don't know how blind I am, but I remember before the first meet, Chris Johnson was like, if you come down here without your contacts in or some glasses on, you is not running.
Those lines.
I had to go do because I just be squinting. Like if somebody's talking to me, I gotta squint to like hear him, and it was just getting bad. It's just getting bad. Like even I ain't got the contacts in, I ain't got my glasses on. But we out here. I used to run around the track a lot without nothing. I was like, I run the 800. I only need to be in lane 1. Like I need to see them.
That's fair.
When I'm running, I just need to see them orange cones where I gotta cut in. It ain't even gotta be clear. I just need to see the line. And as soon as I pass that line, lane 1, stay in lane 1, stay left, and keep going. Stay left and keep going. Stay left and
in front of everyone and keep going.
She said I had to squint to hear you.
I love that. Was like
if I can't see you, I can't hear you.
Isn't that the weirdest?
I can't see you, I can't hear you.
It's like when you're trying to like look for an address in the car, you turn the volume down because you're like can't quite see.
Can't do both. So weird.
If I can't see you, I can't hear you. My teammates will tell you.
Oh man!
And even when I see you, I still can't hear you properly. So imagine when I can't see you. But I'm wearing my contacts now. I'll be wearing them in when I ran 158, I had my contacts in. Yeah, I had my contacts in. Did I? No, I did. But I still
see the.
Yeah, I still had to squint to see. Oh, what had happened was I don't know what it is, but anytime I'm running long races now, my contacts get to shifting. So I'm running like partially blind, like blurry vision, can't see nothing.
Yeah.
And so I think when I got done with the 800, it was still shifting. I don't know where it was, so I couldn't really see anything. Yeah. So I might as well run without them, right?
No.
If they're going to shift. If they're going to shift, then I can't see. I have a better chance of seeing without them than have them in and they're shifting all over the place.
Here's
and
can't.
It's uncomfortable.
You ran 158 with them, so we can't not do that. Just saying, you ran 158 indoors.
Yeah.
We have big hopes for you, and I say we because I'm invested in this now.
Yeah,
so I'm not going to say the things out loud, but well, I'll ask you. I mean, do you, as far as do you like put like goal time like on your mirror? Do you kind of like plan for times, or is it more of just improvement? Like kind of what do you go for?
I did a vision board once, and nothing I did on the vision board thing.
Because you couldn't see it because you didn't have your glasses.
Not too much. Not too much. I think this year I have actually I put times in my phone as reminders, and so every day it will pop up. Every day it will pop up. Every day it will pop up. But in terms of like having a vision board and stuff, I don't have a physical vision board. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I hardly look at it. I'm not even gonna lie. Like some things just doesn't work for everybody. Is putting a reminder on my phone and constantly being reminded of where I'm trying to get to. I think I had I think I had a 157 as a reminder in my phone, but I already run 158. So I had a but it's reminders in my phone and just mental. I don't know, just mentally, I kind of have a remember. I remember what I need to remember sometimes. Fortunately for track, I always remember what. Honestly, and the thing is, like when I go out there and run, like the goals don't be in my head. Like they don't be there. It's like after when you hit the goal, and then you get home and you look and like, oh dang, I just hit my goal. We did it. We did it type stuff. It's not even like, because I don't know if anybody who runs and have goals like they be on the line. Oh, I have this goal written on my vision board, like I need to run that to the type stuff. I don't know how it works, but for me, like, I don't remember nothing off the vision board when I tried and did it. When I got on the line, just in the race and run.
You're trying to win. Yeah,
run fast.
Run fast.
It's not even about. I don't think. It's about winning. A lot of it is about winning, but at the same time, it's about running fast too. Because if I run a race, it depends on the level of competition. Like if I'm a regular track meet and I win and I only ran like 205, like I'm not gonna be happy with that.
No.
But if I'm in Paris and I went with 202, can't nobody tell me nothing. I won. It don't matter what time I ran. I won.
Nothing.
On the level of competition is.
And that's the thing too. Like, let's say we are in Paris, and you drop like a 157, but you don't maybe make the final or something. You ran a 157, like, so you know what I mean? Like,
that's tricky. I don't know if I'd be happy.
It is. Yeah. It's tricky, right? Because
I rather make that final.
Facts.
I think I would rather make that final. I think I would rather make the final.
No, under 100%. But it's also like,
perspective.
If you don't quite get the A goal, but you still run your best race ever, it's progress. It's improvement. And you're young. You are young.
I'm not that young. I'm 25. I'm quarter of a century. And when you round it up, I'm really 30. So
hey, I'm 39, so let's back it up.
I'm older than all of y'all, so all right.
But you know what I mean? I still consider you young, you know what I mean? And you've only been running the 800 for a couple years. Like, you're already got to be 2 Olympics. It's just,
exciting.
It is exciting.
We're so excited for you.
Ain't nothing but the good Lord and Coach Johnson being in my corner and Miss Gigi and just my little community that I have. I have a community that I'm blessed to have, honestly. And this is a whole team effort. It's not just me. We see what happened when I lean on me. It don't work out too well.
She's just out there trying to be like, I ran the 200.
Not too much on me. But it's definitely a group effort. Everything that's happening, for sure. Couldn't have did this on my own.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
So final question for you. We're going into Paris. You're representing your country. What message do you want to give to everyone on your home island? What message do you want to give to those children that are looking up to you?
First, I must say, Fifi loved the kids. But for the kids, it's just, anything is possible. It doesn't matter where you come from or where you start. It just depends on you and the type of person you are, how determined you are. If you believe in yourself and the goals that you've set. I came from a little community in Richmond Park, and all my life, I knew I wanted to be in the Olympics. Even before I wasn't taking track serious, I knew I was going to. Couldn't nobody tell me. I knew where I was going. And then eventually, I started taking track serious, and then that's always been the goal, to go to the Olympics. That's why when I was in college, the parties and all that stuff, it couldn't steer me away from my goal, because I knew what I was working towards, and that was always at the forefront of my head. So, just believe in yourself, set goals. Don't be afraid to set goals. It don't matter where you're from. It don't matter how you start. It's how you finish, honestly. Trust in God and know that He will always direct your path. And you will end up where you need to end up. Even if you take a left when the Lord told you to take a right, you're gonna end up right back where He needs you to by will or by force. Now I've learned that the hard way. Trusting in your coach and just having a community that will foster your goals and stuff. You can't be around people that's gonna tell you, oh, you can't do that, or you're not capable of this and all that type of stuff. So, just being around a community that will foster where you're trying to go. To the people of my country, for everyone that's been supporting me and stuff, I've definitely felt the love and all the support, and I just hope I'm able to make you guys proud. Whenever I go out there and run, half the time it's the country flag that's next to my name, and I hope to do everything to be able to put us on the map. But in Arkansas, I ride a lot of Ubers because I can't drive. Not too much on me.
You don't run everywhere? What?
I do enough of that in practice.
Yeah.
Running nowhere. I need to save these legs as I can. But every time I try to run up, Uber drivers would like to know where you're from. And I'd be like, I'm from Saint Vincent. But usually, when I first got here, I used to be like, I'm from Saint Vincent. They'd be like, where's that? I'd be like, in the Caribbean. So like lately, I'd be like, I'm from the Caribbean. And then they'd be like, where in the Caribbean? Like, they still don't know where it's at. So I have to go on this little thing and explain, all right, you know where Barbados is? All right, so if you're going down south, right. If you're coming up, you're to the left. And then everybody understands. So now, hopefully, with me on the world stage, everybody know where Saint Vincent is. I ain't got to be like, you got to zoom in on Google Maps and be like next to Barbados or right before Grenada or whatever the case is, So, it's just, I just have a lot of inspirations from my country and stuff, and just, I just be out here doing it. Honestly, the Lord blessed me with a gift. I just started to understand that He has blessed me with a gift, and in order to glorify Him and stuff, I gotta hone in on my talent and just go out there and do what I'm capable of. He always tells us to, work as if you're working for the Lord. And so when I go out there and run, I give everything I have, because that's me giving back to the Lord for the gift that He's given me. So, yes, thank you for all the support from everybody from my country, big and small, all the kids, the parents. I went to Inter-Farming today, and it was just so much love from everybody, the parents, the kids. It was heartwarming. I felt so loved and supported. And just thank you, everyone. Yeah.
It sounds like you seem so easy to love and support. You've got so much grace and so much gratitude and love for everybody, and just your whole journey and everything that you've been through, your coaches, the getting your butt kicked sometimes, you even are just gracious for that and those experiences. So I think in turn, no matter what, it doesn't matter from an outside perspective, it really doesn't matter what your outcome is, even though you're going to do well. You are going to you're writing, and you're so well spoken, and you've got wonderful things to say, and everyone is so proud of you now. They're going to be so proud of you and Patty, and we can't wait to watch you. And I'm so excited to watch you.
I'm so excited. Fifi, love the kids, and you are an amazing role model for the kids. So we wish you so much success in Patty, and I hope that one day when I go visit Saint Vincent, I will see your picture in the airport.
Yeah, everywhere. Mural.
You just might. And if you don't, just talk
take selfies.
I'm going to take a selfie with it.
Yeah, tell them you see me posted on the But one step at a time.
Exactly.
One step at a time.
Where you just put it. You're young, and you just put your name on there. So, but Fifi, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm going to be watching you. I'm going to be texting you. You're my friend now. Haha, I can't get away from me.
Oh yeah, I'm going to follow you too, and you'll be my friend, and then I'm going to annoy you, and it'll be great.
I thought I had all my bridesmaids that I needed. Yeah, I have a friend. I'll be like, I don't need no more friends. I got all my bridesmaids. So it's kind of.
I'll be a guest. Okay, I'll just be a guest. So
we just want to dance to your music. Yes, that's all. We just want to come and dance.
This is a fun one at the wedding.
I enjoy talking to you guys. Thank you for having me.
Of course. You have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my God, I love her. I'm so excited. I can't wait to when she pops up on TV and I'm like, we talked to her before she was a kid. I'm so excited.
She's adorable. I just love everything
She's
about her.
adorable.
I know.
Oh my God, just such a great spirit. And I loved her like honesty about like, she doesn't have this like big ego either. You know, she was
No
so
ego.
able. And the fact that like, I love that she's just like, I trust, and I just, you know what, like God and my coach and my stuff. And just like, no, I didn't think I was always going to do it, but here's where I'm at. And I love that. I love that ability to just like, and then when they said, yes, you're doing it, you're like, all right, well, then I'm going to give it my all.
Yeah.
And
it was beautiful to hear it, saying like, and I'm like, oh, you switched events. I've been there. Oh, you switched events because you were injured and you were in the pool a lot. Yeah.
yeah,
Familiar.
yeah.
But, just to see she had so much God-given talent in there, right? I mean, her build, like watching her run, I mean, she's an 800 runner, right?
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh.
it's
Sure
perfect.
is.
So, I'm so glad that she chose Arkansas, that the Johnson brothers, Gigi, like that's, and as you know, her tears don't move him. So he's going to make you run. But
And any good coach, tears are just beautiful rainfall on a spring day. They're to water the plants, to water the flowers.
I love it. And there's something just special too about, someone being like the sole representative from their country. Like they are their country, right? Like,
yes,
it's insane.
Yeah.
Like just to
It's
think about and the
an honor.
sacrifices she's made,
Yeah.
just, talking about moving to St. Kitts
Family.
and at a very young age, moving to Southern Illinois, like, there's it's a big sacrifice that she's put in for her dreams. And, it's certainly paying off. I absolutely loved it.
Me too.
This is everything I dreamed of and more. And on that note,
this has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.